What's do?
What's up, fam?
Hello.
What's good?
You guys all look good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You made it too.
I made the list looking good.
You look good today.
Finally, right?
Yeah.
Nobody ever tells me I look good.
You look amazing, cuz.
Yeah?
Big Pete. Big Pete. What up, baby?
Big perm.
Question, what would you listen to on the way in?
On the way in, actually, I took it back. I listened to Fast Car. I was listening to Tracy Chapman on the way in. And then
Oh, really?
Some 70s soul, yes. OJ's. Back.
See, you listened to me because I said Lionel Richie last week. There we go.
That's the connection.
Yeah, exactly. You got to go
What
old
you
school.
listening to on the way in here, man?
Dame Dash.
Just his talking, motivational speaking?
Nah, just talking information.
Information.
Yeah,
and
sure.
support.
Yeah, definitely.
What you was listening
This is that Future Dirty Sprite. I was just like in a Future Dirty Sprite mode this morning. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what I was. I took it back a little bit.
Yeah, and I was listening to Future as well. With that new joint with Lil Wayne. Hard. He made it smooth through traffic
I
today.
hear it.
Oh, it's good.
Wayne and 2 Chainz got something coming out soon. I think.
Again? I think they
Yeah,
said
the
some
other
shit
one.
with College Park last time.
Collie Grove, something.
Collie Grove or something like that. Yeah. All right.
Coming back with something else.
But anyway, I'm gonna tell everybody, please hit the like and subscribe button. Come join us on YouTube. We got great content. Please, our followers are growing up. Our views is going up. Please,
Thank you for your support.
we appreciate it.
Don't be left
Thank
behind.
you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, also on top of our content, we're doing interviews now. So if you
Yeah.
haven't noticed today, we have a special guest in the building. I'm going to give you some titles right now, and if they work, then I'm going to rock with your marketing team. Firstly, we definitely have a content creator, but I'm going to go with conscious community correspondent. That one's good. And then
Yeah, I
I'm
like
going to go
that.
with podcast prophet. Ladies and gentlemen, the smart guy is here today.
There we go.
Brother.
You gotta go with God.
God,
gotta go
come
with
on, bring the rest
motivator.
of them.
You gotta go with I'm bringing the only one. God, revolutionary, industry builder, entrepreneur, brother,
Okay.
Muslim,
Mhm.
loyalist, and this generation's savior.
Mhm.
Save it for.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Davis.
Okay.
All right, we was actually building before we even started rolling the cameras, but you was telling us about creating a new industry. What is that industry and what does that look like?
So before we create the new industry, we have to create a mindset conducive to thriving and maintaining in that industry, right? So we're dealing with it's not a race war, it's a genetic war. Okay? So if every black man woke up tomorrow and had 12 babies, right? Within 18 months, white people wouldn't exist. So they're very afraid.
I'll work on that.
They're very afraid.
I'll get to work.
Right? Of being erased.
Mhm.
Right? And homosexuality is weaponized to protect against white genetic annihilation. The mass emasculation of black men is weaponized to protect against white genetic annihilation. The over-sexualization of black women is weaponized to protect against white genetic annihilation. The mass marketing of dysfunctional or unhealthy relationships between black men and black women is also weaponized to protect against genetic annihilation. And then we're also conditioned to be divided. We're not the minority, we're actually the majority. And our people we've been on this planet for over 200,000 years. Like literally, white people have been on this planet for less than 7,000 years. So, we're way more advanced. And we have to understand that there's a conscious effort to create a conflict of vibration when you talk about being independent and doing for self. Okay? So I say all the time, how you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you, right? So I got you, but I want to just, and it's beautiful that we having this conversation recorded because people can go back and they do, right? But we talk about how to build this industry. Before we build the industry, we have to build the mindset that allows us to maintain unity without traitors, without betrayal, without being disloyal. We have to have knowledge of self first. And when you know who you are and you stop calling yourself a nigga, you stop calling yourself anything but a God, right? Because we take on attributes that lowers our vibration, because the oppressor, the people we let colonize us, they know the power of word. So they condition us. Nigga is not a term of endearment. It lowers your vibration, it lowers your power source. So we said, my nigga, my nigga. But you don't see people saying, my. You don't see Spanish people saying, yo, what's up? Yo, what? We're the only group of people that embraces low vibrational attributes on a day-to-day basis.
Can I speak to something about that? Right. So you say that, I would say this for us as a race, as a Black people, right? We always had to take whatever been given to us, regardless of what it was, and take shit and make it to something. So I feel like even when you talk about the food, the soul food we eat, right? Chitlins, that's the garbage of the waste that the white man gave to us.
Mm-hmm.
We had to make it something. The neck bones and stuff, that's the waste that they didn't want, that we put in our. These are the things that we take as a culture.
Operate out of that.
Yeah, we've been operating out of that format for a long period of time. To take something and turn it around, even hip hop. Hip hop was at one time was one that could deem, that's nonsense. We don't want to listen to that. That's garbage. They just talking that junk. And now it's $1 billion industry. You understand? So we always, at some point, it's easy to say, yeah, we got to talk like, but we are conditioned to take whatever been thrown at us, the hard labor, whatever negativity, and flip it.
But God chooses. So again, I'll speak to that. But in terms of creating the industry, the first thing we got to do is create the mindset, right? So this is why the No Labels Tour, I'm teaching the importance of mantras. I'm teaching how to create a mantra. I'm teaching how to create mantras and utilize mantras relevant to this mindset. I'm teaching on the seminar the importance of meditation and actually how to meditate. And it's in my humble opinion that, God, leaders are chosen by God based upon the mindset, because everybody didn't take that, right? Like, everybody, I wouldn't have took the waste. I'd have been figuring out how to cut the so-called master's throat. And you had a lot of Nat Turners, right? So you had people that wasn't with it, that wanted to be free, that wouldn't accept. I'm not accepting waste. I don't come from that. I am a God. And whether you choose to accept that or not, it doesn't erase or eradicate who I am. And I'm unapologetic with that. So in order for me to create this industry, I have to stand firm in a village that is conditioned to be dysfunctional and not know who you are. If you're a God, whether you believe you're a God or not, you're still that. That vibration is still within you genetically, right? And your brain, whether you like it or not, your brain as a Black man produces neuromelanin. Like whether you like it or not, like you have pituitary gland. Whether you like it or not, you're more brown. You look more like that hoodie than the cloud, right? So we are who we are, even if we don't accept, respect, or love who we are. However, now, I'm gonna get off this point, but I'm gonna build this industry by first making sure I know who I am, and I'm very studious and knowledgeable about who we are as a culture. We are gods. I don't care what they talking about, what they spoke about. We've been here longer. We are genetically superior to every other race on this planet. And I'm going to build from that vibration, and I'm going to stay in that vibration. And that vibration is going to attract the like-minded individuals that's going to help me build this industry that benefits us all as a culture. Okay?
Question to that, though.
Hold on. And then the point about what you were saying about is basically not saying you said this because you didn't, but a lot of times people say, well, okay, easier said than done, right? But words like produce. So if it is easier said than done, because to do without saying makes it harder, right? To do without vision makes it harder. So I can sit from this chair and speak greatness into existence, and I can. So I'm going to speak that. We have to, the N word has to stop being used. And when I got knowledge itself, even me being in prison, I stopped letting people call me nigga. You heard? My name is Smart. So you're not going to call me out my name, right? You're not going to say, what's up, bitch? You're not going to say, what's up, boy? And I'm going to salute that.
No, I get that.
I'm going to give you one warning. My name is Smart. Don't call me outside my name.
No, that's
And in prison, when people didn't want to respect that, I'm probably going to cut you. I'm probably going to stab you. It's going to be some act of violence because now you're disrespecting me, calling me out my name. That was the first thing, right? And then now, as I evolved it, I knew, okay, Now I'm gonna be empathetic that you don't understand. So I'm not gonna deal with you. And I've trained people in prison to call me by my name. What's my name? Smart. What's your name? Oh, powerful, magnetic. What's your name? What's your name?
Well, me, Kush.
What's your name?
Dang.
What's your name?
I got you.
I'm asking, what's your name?
You be good.
What's your name?
Stewart.
So somebody call you fish, toilet tissue, soap, lollipop. You cool with that? Me per se, I'm not.
I get what
The
the
Right?
question is, how effective is your message?
Oh man.
How effective is your message if you're talking to a mass of a community? So I get what I get what you're saying, but when you're talking to the kids of the inner city, because you grew up in the inner city, I'm sure in Harlem, just like we grew up in Brooklyn, like the words that you're saying, we're all grown. We can understand what you're saying, disagree or agree, right, as adults.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to, I'm assuming you're trying to
I'm not trying, I'm doing it.
well,
I'm doing it.
You're going to affect the youth. So if you're going to affect the youth, how effective do you think this message
I'm
is?
saying it's very effective. I'm doing it. Like, let's be clear about that. It's not trying. Like I told you, I had 3 sold out shows. Going on a 4th one.
Congrats.
When people see me on the street, they want to take pictures. They,
You think
bro.
you're telling the drill rapper to stop saying nigga?
Yo, listen, check it out. You keep saying try. I don't try to do anything. I live in my vibration, right? Leaders don't, like, homie, like, you gotta understand. I'm a real guy. Like, if you did any research about me, shit I talk about, I did 10 years in prison. Rikers Island, C-74. I had a crib. I sold crack out of town. I took over blocks. I've shot people, stabbed people, kidnapped people. Like, seriously, bro. Nice with my hands, bust my gun and all that. So there's a certain level of experience that I have that I know the difference. I had a clip that went viral, right? And I spoke about people getting sentenced, right? And everybody says, yo, spin the block and do this, all that. But you don't know what it's like to stand in front of that judge and look over your shoulder and ain't no homies dead. Ain't no bitches dead.
Damn sure ain't.
Ain't none of your dogs dead. You heard? Just your moms, your grandmoms crying because they disappointed. And you feel f***ed up. And you can't even stand up. Because they always say stand up before you get sentenced, right? And when you got to stand up, you feel light as a mother. You can't even stand up. I know I couldn't because I knew I wasn't coming home. So the correction officer grab you by the collar and lift you up by your... So you're like this, damn, you don't want to stand up. And you get hit with that time. You go back in a holding cell by yourself because they don't put you... When you get sentenced with a lot of time, you ain't going to be in a holding cell with somebody who got 3 months about to come home. So you in that cell with like 2 or 3 people or you by yourself. And you sitting there like this, I'm crying. Yeah, I'm fucked up. They don't know that feeling.
I like the energy of putting out that we are the greatest. And I think that is super dope. I can't deny that.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I also watch Chamillionaire. This is not to anticipate or even propagate the idea of a failure. What I'm saying is, Chamillionaire put out an album that he wanted support during the time when everybody was discussing the N-word and Oprah was dancing around it.
Right.
Everybody was having this huge discussion about the N-word, right? And Chamillionaire said, I'll do you one better. I'll drop an entire project with absolutely no curses in it. And nailed it. It actually was a great album. But you know what he learned from that? Let's step away from this industry. Because some people ain't going to want to be saved.
But I got you, but that's Chamillionaire. But let me finish the point though, right? So this is from my personal experience. Going to Southport Box. I cut 2 people. I did 2 years in a box. You heard? Southport Box is not even here anymore, homie. You heard? So for me, I got experience, bro. I got beat up by 12 police. Eye closed shut. This scar on my face is from police. High-speed car chase with the police shoot. I put in pain, bro. So when I speak to these kids, I'm speaking from experience. And a lot of motherfuckers don't got the balls or the courage to speak on it because they ain't live it. So when you live it and you sitting in Southport Box and you sitting in the box where your bed is like this big, you heard? The toilet bowl is at the top of your head. The shower is at the end of your feet. Then it's another door to another cage that if you don't know when they're going to call wreck in the morning, right? So they let you outside for like 20 minutes and you got to get up in the morning and catch the door before it click. This is where you going when you catching bodies and spinning blocks. And it had somebody who was my bunkie who was a serial killer. He had 12 bodies. He telling me, yo, young blood, this ain't it. This ain't it. This, if I could go home, Bro, I work at McDonald's. I drive a bus. You gonna tell? So I lived in truth, homie. So I'm sharing the kids the truth. The choice is yours, but you don't really know. And you know why a lot of these kids listen to me and they do and they f with me and they jack me? Because they know my body. They know I get busy. Let me just say this last point. Listen, hold on. They know my body. They know I get busy. When they look into my eyes, they don't see when this ain't me. This is just to make it look nice. I'm really that. So when if you a killer and you get busy, you're not gonna look at me and say, oh, he don't get busy. You're gonna know. And hold on. And when you know, you're gonna listen, you're gonna respect it. And then you're gonna say, damn. Cause you wanna know what the other side is like, right? Everybody don't catch W's, some people catch L's, right? The highest level of gangster, if you in New York, is the Graveyard and used to be Southport Box. I didn't die, but I went to Southport Box. And I was crying every day. I wanted to come home. I'm holding my pillow, pretending it's a girl, talking to a girl, going crazy in the fucking box. This is, so nobody talking about that, and most can't because they ain't walked them shoes. And walk them shoes with honor. And then come home with honor and have nobody look out for you. Come home, do 5 years parole, post-release, category 1. Pissing in the cup, gotta show a man your dick every week, and you about to get violated because you like, yo, look, homie, you ain't gonna come in the bathroom with me and stand too close while I'm pissing in this cup, bro. But nobody talk about that because they ain't been through it. And kids need to hear the truth. I'm not here to make the truth sound sexy. I'm not here to make the truth sound like you see in a movie, person get killed and they die, and it's like, oh my God, tell my wife I love her. Nigga, in real life, you just dead, you out of here. So when kids hear the truth, and they want to hear the truth, and it's coming from somebody who really care, because kids know love, they're going to listen to somebody they see every day. They're going to listen to somebody they come through every day. I ain't just coming around when I got something going on, or I'm shooting a music video. I'm in the trenches. I be in the projects. I be sitting with them and talking to them about life and showing them how, so they're going to listen to me. And these kids, hold on, because he said, I want to answer this question in full entirety. These kids, they are kids. They ought to be led. They're not to be, we a lot of times, older people be either scared of the kids, they follow behind the kids. I'm not your brother, I'm your father. I'm not your homegirl, I'm your mother. I'm not your bestie, I'm your grandmother. You got parents trying to act like they friends. And this is my little brother. I got 8 brothers, but I'm big bro. Ain't none of that. And I put my foot down, not because I'm punking them, not because I'm belittling them, because I've been there, done that. And they follow because I lead by example. And I never tell them to do something that I'm not willing to do. Or I ain't do it. And I got the resume and the proof to show it. You want to talk about cuttings? Okay, I'm going to show you the paperwork. You want to see I caught a body? You want to see my charge was attempt murder? You want to see I bust my gun? You know, like, in my hood, part of me, brothers in my hood know I didn't knocked out mad. People know the work I put in, right? So they're going to be like, damn, he talking this. People see me in the street, be like, yo, bro, they don't even know. I'm like, no, I really changed. Like, they think this is an act, right? Like, you know what I mean? But I worked hard to create this new image of myself. I wasn't dressing like this. I had a gun in a chicken box, a Champion hoodie. I used to keep a gun, right? Like, you know, Kenny Fried Chicken box, right? And I'm just on timing. But I changed myself.
Here's the thing, right?
You know what I mean? Hold on, I got you. Let me pass the mic.
No, here's the thing.
I changed myself.
Here's the thing.
I changed myself. I got you. God, let me just. I changed myself.
You know,
I got you. I changed myself. And I had the confidence and the courage to do it. And we, in terms of leadership, everybody's not meant to be a leader because they don't have the consistent confidence and courage. Right? You gotta have that. You gotta have something inside of you that's moving you. That I am a God. I'm not a nigga. I'm a God. I don't give what y'all talking about. And I'm not gonna move from that. So when we got people moving like that in our generation, because I'm inspired, and I got you, brother. I'm inspired by George Jackson, Huey P. Newton, Geronimo Pratt, right? Khalid Muhammad. And I listen to these brothers every day. I listen. I'm like, damn, they wasn't afraid of police. How? So I'm learning martial arts now. I could box, I beat out somebody with the hands, right? But I'm learning wrestling, I'm learning jujitsu, I'm learning these things, I'm learning Krav Maga, I'm learning things, and it's giving me confidence. These brothers, it's brothers that died for us to even be in this room to speak like this. Where is those brothers at? This generation, we not, and I got another point, but I'm gonna save it because, you know what I mean? I get long-winded.
I'm saying you answered all the questions we want to ask.
That's the part I was trying to get to. The part that I was trying to get to. The part that I was trying to get to is the fact that I don't know. You got this adversarial vibe right now. You know, your vibrations match energy and all that. And I think that's where that conflict came from. The point is, here at Full 400, we agree with you. We think that there is, like I said, there is greatness in all of us. And it's something that we need to pull out. But one thing that we also do is we don't harbor on the worst of us, right? We try to make it better. And at the same time, the questions that he got in his hand, the questions he got in his hand, the questions he got in his hand, the questions I got right here is for you to highlight the best of it. And I don't want it to be just washed away by like it's snowballing. He asked his first question, we ain't getting nowhere. He tried to jump in, and we're here to help promote and have you be the best. Listen, wherever you want to take this interview is where we take the interview. But I would like for us to go through and have a format and where everybody's participating. You know what I mean?
All right, I'm gonna jump in then real quick. So I know your story in terms of moving around group homes real early. So I was gonna say that's another reason that the kids resonate with you because you actually have the story where they're coming from. You're not just telling it from up here on the mountain as a dude that got chains and that's on the internet and is making all of these, viral videos.
Right.
They have reference point because you actually came from where they came from. But with that said, you having limited guidance in your youth, describe the process of self-education and you, like you just recently said, you found your purpose now. So what did that process look like? Because like you said, you did the box and everything else up until that point. So you had to have that honest conversation with yourself.
Right. So, being a motherless child, right? So, every other week you got a new man in the house. You got the nerve to point to him like he the man of the house. And they all wanted me to call him dad. They all wanted me to call him. I grew up confused, got beats. I was black and blue. And you wonder why I'm in school acting a fool, cutting class, picking fights, couldn't follow the rules. Free lunch won't cut it. I'm still hungry. I need food. Hooked up with Daryl, selling weed now, mama. I'm making moves. You put a pants woman out, left me in the system. Plus you ain't called back. They ain't love what you call that. If you ain't want a son, mama, shit. You should have left me in that ball sack. Two sides to the story, I know, but I ain't having it. Too many demons inside I got to battle with. Whoever trying to play devil's advocate. Y'all don't understand how real this is. I was just a kid, 5. Had to look my mom in the eyes, half sleep, half high. And you wonder why I'm outside, smoking weed, pistol in my pocket, throwing up gang signs. You a junkie, mama. How you going to demand respect? I guess you beat me because I look like the man that left. A spitting image of my daddy, huh? That's why you slap me? Can nothing please you? You ain't never happy. Straight A's on report cards getting ripped. Christmas, birthdays, I ain't get shit. Every man I see you with call you bitch. This is what I deal with. It feels like God cursed me and my brothers because all I do is suffer. And the pain came from my mother. A rose won't grow from this concrete. Roots getting pulled out, petals getting stepped on. You came home high, beat me half to death. You said that I slept wrong. Bloody tampons, empty bottles of liquor, cracked valves on the same bed I slept on. How the f could I sleep wrong? You got me laying on a bed I could barely even sleep on. See? So that's my life in exact memory, right? No lyric, no rhyme, no poetry. Like that was my exact life, right? Early as a kid. So I was dealing with things that I didn't have the power to overcome. My mother got all these different men coming in the crib, beating on her. Naturally, I'm trying to protect my moms. Then I'm getting teeth knocked out by grown men. I'm fighting boyfriends. I'm doing, you know what I mean? I'm going through all this shit as a kid. I don't know why. So at some point, I felt overwhelmed. And internally, I went to God. Yo, man, this.
Did you know your pop at all? Yeah,
for sure. I went to God. I asked God, yo, man, I need help. You know what I'm saying? So that was the beginning part of like the self-education, because in an indirect way, I was asking God to empower me, to give me some type of tool to deal with what I was dealing with, right? And then I was starting to develop early on advanced emotional intelligence, advanced emotional maturity. Then I started becoming an avid reader. I started trying to figure things out as a kid. 5 years old, I'm going to the supermarket, stealing food. I'm hanging out with the older kids, swiping metro cards. I'm outside at 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside early trying to figure this out because I got to. Not saying to be cool. It was like, I mean, like this is what's happening to me, right? So, and if you either you swim or you drown. See? and if you swim long enough, then you get as good as Michael Phelps. See? Either you swim or you drown, right? So at 5, I didn't drown. I learned to swim. See? And then now, you swimming at 5 years old. By the time you're 25, you on Michael Phelps level, homie. I'm in Covenant House. Early in the morning, my mom, I'm in a shelter with my moms. I'm supposed to be taken to school. Once they kick it, in the morning, they gotta renew the bed. So you ain't, you know what I mean? You gotta leave in the morning. It's 5 a.m. They kicking us out. My mom's just going somewhere to get high. She leaving me. So I'm hanging out with the other mother's kids, and we in Times Square. All right, homie, what we doing? I'm five behind them. Then this is how I'm growing up. I'm growing up in the street. I'm growing up in the system. You see?
said all your brothers are younger than you?
Yeah.
You grew up with them as well?
Nah, hell no. I mean, we're growing up now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody kind of like was like separated. You know what I'm saying? So like my brother Jonathan, his father, took him
Right.
immediately.
How did you?
So I even never so and like damn, that fucked me up too, because I never spoke about this in the interview, but my brother Jonathan, we never even had like, I was real close with him, but my mom's was abusing us all.
How close are they?
Me and Jonathan is like a couple years apart.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But so it was like when he took him, like it was like, damn, I really felt that. And I ain't seen my brother since we was kids.
If that was your bond and your connection at that age.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
know what I'm
person.
saying?
All right. So my question is to you, right? Because
Wait, and then, sorry, my bad. So the pain, the constant trauma, the constant abuse, the constant shit I was going through as a kid, I was going through too much. And I started to cry out. And I learned that God protects fools and babies. So I was a baby at that time and I needed help. So, you know what I mean? God put people in my path to, yo, homie, read this book, or, you know what I mean? Yo, look, man, when you going through this, don't worry about it. I had a kid, right? Damn, bro. And may God bless him, man. My man Daryl, right? He's older than me. And he was like, yo, look, man, like, ain't nobody coming. And I remember being in the supermarket, right? And I never said this, and this is crazy. I get an exclusive, this is good. We was in some supermarket, and the security guard had caught me, right? And the security guard beat me up bad. I was like 7 or some shit like that, right? He beat me up, you know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. I'm fighting the security guard, whatever. And my man Daryl was walking with me. I remember Daryl told me, like, yo, bro, like, ain't nobody coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was ready to quit. I'm just sitting on the curb. I got beat up by a security guard. He took all the food I was gonna sell. I ain't got no money. I'm sitting like this on the street like this. Like, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, I was ready to give up. My man Daryl was like, yo, ain't nobody coming, bro. And I feel like God had like sent him that message, right? Because he was young too. And he like, yo, you gotta do this. Ain't nobody coming, man. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Know what I mean? And he like kicked me, like, you know what I mean? Like, he like kicked me, like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right, man, fuck it. And I got up. But those moments in my life, if God didn't send those people, I wouldn't even be here. I'd be
on the curve figuring it out.
word. And it's a lot of people that you still see on the curb and never figured it out because they didn't get that kick in their ass when they needed
They
it.
ain't have that.
right.
Yeah.
So my question to you is this, right? You named Nat Turner, UP Newton, and a lot of these people deceased or young before their time, right? And their message was heard, but it wasn't fulfilled. What is about you that you want to take it?
It definitely was.
It was fulfilled. But it's not. It didn't resonate as what it could have been credit for it. And it didn't resonate to the point where it could have reached even further than what it is now. See, now, if you talking about the young people really don't know about it unless you're talking about it.
Right,
or
but
unless you're into it.
If they wasn't successful, you wouldn't be in this room. Like, you gotta understand, right? Like, we let white people set the narrative for our leadership. Those brothers died so certain laws could get passed, and they were passed. Like, the civil rights movement was a real thing. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
So that's what those brothers fought for. They fought for equal opportunities, what they died for. So them signs that says no niggas allowed would be removed. So a white person can't just walk up on the street and bust you in a brick, and police is gonna look at you and just be like, do nothing. Like, that changed because of them, right? It was a time where we was walking outside and a white person said, nigger, and hit you with a brick and you died. The cop not arresting that white person. That shit happened now, that person going to jail.
Well, my
So this is why I said the mindset, this is why my tour is so important. This is why these conversations are so important. We have to stop giving light to the enemy's mission. He conditioned us to speak like it's impossible. Oh, well, you know, so we've been doing this for 400 years, so let's just continue to be niggas. Yo, we spent 400 years, so 400 plus years, and the white man is God. And you know what, this is, you know, Malcolm X. That's the point of being a fighter. I'm a fighter. That's me per se. I'm a fighter. I don't care. I went to prison, bro. Ain't nobody taking my butt. You ain't taking my butt. You ain't taking my locker. You ain't taking my phone call. You ain't taking my commissary. You ain't taking my pen. You ain't taking nothing from me.
This is
Hold on. So what I'm saying is that's the mindset that we have to, because you got to let me, I listen before I speak.
It makes me feel like I want to listen.
I want to say something. I love it. It's passion, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have strong convictions about what you're saying and what the message you're giving out, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm saying is, I don't want you to plateau where it be like, all right, people get tired of hearing, because you know what the difference is
You
between.
bugging. No,
hold on.
listen.
Let me say. No, I'm finished.
Because you're saying you can't.
No, hold on.
gotta,
I'm not finished my statement. I'm not
I don't
projecting.
want you to plateau. I'm never going to plateau.
I don't want. That's what I'm saying. I don't want you to project.
Doesn't matter what you want. I'm never going to plateau.
Okay. Well, God. Okay, you're right. You're not going to plateau.
We got 4 billion views on TikTok. I've been viral. My first clip went viral 2 years ago on the Matt Hoffa show. Check it out. I made his show like I'm one of the reasons why his show got lit. Right. I went viral. The first time I went viral was 2 years ago. My numbers went from like this to like this now. Oh, we ain't plateauing nowhere. And we getting it done. Just told you, we got.
That's what I was going to get to the point of.
Ain't no plateau at all.
This is so that's why I say,
I'm not just talking. I'm actually doing it.
All right, this is what I'm trying to get to. You got to let me finish my statement, brother.
Go ahead.
All right. So like I said, you're not going to plateau.
No.
So what is the results of the things that you're doing? And that's what we need to know
That
as
was
a
the
people.
industry question.
That was the question.
Yeah.
We need the results, because everybody, you got to have a lot of people sit there and say, yes, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. This and this and
Bro,
and that.
industry that you're building,
But you saying, but see again, you gotta, if you asking that question, your due diligence is not at maximum full potential with me. Because you would know what I'm doing. You would know that we got sneaker drives. You would know that we about to build a school.
No.
I'm asking because I want the people that that's watching the platform to know.
But we gotta
so
be
that's
clear,
what I'm giving it.
Listen, so for me, I speak a lot, but I'm a great listener. I hold on to words. Before I speak, I'm a great listener. So when you said, I don't want you to plateau, nah, we ain't doing that. What you mean? I can't accept that. Then when you're saying about, okay, well, the leaders before, they were passionate too. Well, they had to learn. They didn't have a point of reference.
So
right?
that's what I'm saying.
So you got to have it. So again, you have to understand, you have to have a point of reference first. So if Martin Luther King believed in, both races coming together, but he didn't understand the genetic war that's being fought, right? So white people, they view our elevation as their annihilation. And because genetically, we can reproduce in a way that they won't and they can't. So Martin had his fight, but he didn't understand that. So we learned, right? Mayweather's father lost to Sugar Ray Leonard, right? Floyd Mayweather's father was a boxer, taught his uncle how to fight. His uncle accomplished more than his brother, but his brother taught him. Floyd Mayweather Sr. taught Roger Mayweather how to box. Roger and Floyd was Mayweather's coaches, 2 coaches. Mayweather surpassed both of them. Do you know why? Because they were able to fix it. He was able to have that point of reference.
And that's what I'm trying to
Mayweather
get
is
to.
undefeated. Okay, so I had to learn from Khalid Muhammad. I had to learn from Marcus Garvey. And nobody talks about Marcus Garvey because he was building boats. He was creating he was building import-export businesses, because America is not a home, it's a hotel. It's a trading place, it's a place of business. So but he was the first one to really make those moves to actually own boats. So if he's the first one, you don't think that an iPhone, the first iPhone, the iPhone 1 is going to be better than the iPhone 15? Are you going to tell me that? You're going to tell me that Sega Genesis is better than PS5?
I think
So
what
what
he
I'm
was trying
saying
to
is-
get.
No, listen, I'll answer your question. Listen, when I do interviews, right, it's not a personal thing, it's a general thing because we creating content.
Right.
So the reason why my stuff doesn't plateau is because I speak from a knowledge base and it sparks a conversation. We're having a conversation.
Right.
Everybody's questions are going to be answered, right? So what I'm saying is there's evolution, my brother. And when you understand the evolution of who we are, then you have confidence in who we're going to be and where we're going. So I had to study Khalid Muhammad. I had to study to say, okay, I get it. I had to study Farrakhan, right? I had to study these brothers and say, okay, damn, okay, COINTELPRO, CIA, right? Like those brothers went to war with the CIA. You got motherfuckers that can't even win against their own block or opposite block.
What is it about us that you feel like you can't learn nothing from us?
What are you talking about? Like you're being, I know what you're talking about, right? So
The reason why I say that
I never
is
felt like I
because
can't learn them from you.
what I'm saying is we are here in an effort to interview smart.
right. Yeah,
That is, you are the center of attraction. Absolutely.
for sure.
But we are all asking you questions and trying to interact with you and trying to make something out of this that's not just you.
Real quick, just let them build. We asking the questions, just let them build.
That's
I don't
why-
want to have to edit this on the back end and take out a
There's
bunch
no
of shit.
editing. We're shooting it
I'm
live.
editing. I edit.
We're
the hell out of
shooting
it.
this live.
I got you. But see, look, see, the thing about it is a lot of times when people come on interviews, right? So for me, this is what I'm saying about the mindset. Brother, you got to understand, my whole mission is, and again, if this is an interview, if this is a panel, that's different, right? So if I'm under the assumption that this is an interview about me, my interests, and what I got going on, my point of view, then I'm going to focus on that, right?
We're trying to highlight it.
So-
Okay,
so-
yeah.
We're trying to highlight
So
it.
listen, and I think
We designed all our questions in order to highlight it.
Right,
I
but-
promise you.
But I think you are though, right? I think like understand what's going on. If we're talking about my analytics and the algorithm, right?
No.
I'm talking about it now, right? If we
Mhm.
talk about my analytics and my algorithm, right? When you ask me a question, I'm going to respond from my perspective, right?
Mhm.
You got the camera that's capturing it, right? All this information, my responses to the questions you asking are going to go viral. It's going to do the numbers that it needs to do. That's going to help your interest grow in terms of your podcast. And people are going to want to come on after episodes like this. That's one. Number two, whatever question you asking me, I'm going to answer. But I answer in a way that is an independent way of thinking, so to say, right?
Mhm.
So if he asks me, yo, I don't want you to plateau, I'm going to go, wait a minute.
Yeah, but
We ain't plateauing. If he asks me, yo, look, yo, what happened with your moms and boom, 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 I'm going to go deep. I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to be vulnerable. Yo, look, bro, like, yeah, I was fucked up. I'm on the curb. This is happening for real, right? If he's asking me, yo, you think you're going to ask a drill artist to stop saying drill? No. I'm not here to go in and tell you to stop doing anything. I'm going to give you a point of reference. See, you're going to do what you want to do. Because I know at a certain age, I wasn't listening, but I knew I wanted to answer. See? And as kids out here, again, the word drill means kill. But why is drill even a genre? It's a genre because we don't own media. This is why you don't see no rappers saying spin the block. This is why you don't see no Bangladesh rappers saying get the sand and drown them in the sand. You don't see no motherfucker, right? You only see it with us because Vivendi, Valor, Viacom, these companies that have to protect against genetic annihilation, they create platforms and institutions to perpetuate this message. And they reward the messengers of genocide. They reward the messengers who are going to draw the black people to their death and destruction, right? So I can't sit there and say, yo, stop doing drill. I'm going to build I'm going to create my own industry. This is what I'm doing now,
So
right?
during your tour, like during your tour, you brought up a lot of stuff earlier that
Right.
About your background and stuff like that.
Right.
So the question I was asking before, the effectiveness. Does your tour start out with talking about your because like you said, I think we spoke about this off camera about you going to like Texas and stuff like that. The people who may not know your backstory. Do you start off your conversations with having your backstory first and then lead into?
You got to read the room.
Okay.
Right? But I was answering your question. The reason why kids listen to me, because I'm not trading war stories, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I really experienced that, right? Like, I really went to Delaware and damn near took over Dover, telling, and I was making $500 for 8 ball. So somebody watched this, and my man reached out to me, because I had him hustling with me on the gram. He said, yo, did you used to go by the name Cash and you was in Delaware? You know what I mean? He said, motherfucker, I'm legit, bro. So people, when they look at me and they see the content, they listen because it's a point of reference. See? So lions respect lions. Killers respect killers. Right? So if these kids don't understand what the fuck life is, and somebody who does understand what life is shares it with them, and they're respectable and they cool and they got that shit on that they like. You see these new products I got on? They like, oh shit, okay. Let me see what Big Bro talking about. And they gonna listen. Check it. This is why they listen though. On the Willie Lynch letter, right? They said, we have extinguished every avenue by which light can enter the mind of the slave. If we can only extinguish the slave's ability to see the light, then they'd be on the same level as the beasts in the fields. So light is information. The avenues is the platform, school. We have extinguished every avenue by which light can enter the mind of the slave. This is why they destroyed our schools. This is why there's no trade schools. This is why there's no schools teaching you about ancient Kemet, Egyptology, and telekinesis and neuroscience. We've destroyed every avenue. Now, if we can destroy their ability to see the light, what's the ability? The ability to learn. I was a shooter, bro. Like, I was ignorant. I smoked weed every day. I wasn't on nothing. I wasn't, you couldn't talk to me long enough. I got cocaine gang tatted on my hand because I wanted to start my own fucking gang. I was trying to be somebody else. You know what I mean? You couldn't, but when I got around the real information, something happened. It was
when was that change? When was that change?
It was prison. I just told you, Southport Box.
Like
I was in
you remember that moment? Do you remember that moment?
Yeah, I had a bunkie named Powerful. He had life. He had multiple bodies, and he had a book, right? So we was talking, and I'm excited, right? And I'm telling the CO, don't put me in no cell with no bozo, right? So the first bunkie I had, I beat him up. I packed him up. I don't want nobody I only wanted. I was so brainwashed. I only wanted to be around like real gangsters and killers. I was obsessed with that shit, right? Because I wanted to be that. I read the book Monster Cody. He had the glasses with the. I'm trying to be Monster Cody. I'm reading Tookie Williams. I'm hearing about these gangsters. I'm obsessed with this shit because that was what I felt.
That was your point of reference.
Yeah, I felt like that's what I wanted to be. My man Rad from Brooklyn, God bless her dead, straight gangster, bricklayer for real. Just like a father figure to me. I embraced the streets. I embraced the mud. So when I got to Southport Box, and it was somebody who like showed me the paperwork, showed me that you ain't a rat, you got bodies, oh my yeah, yo, how was it? Like I want to know. He like, you stupid. Like what? What you mean I was stupid? I mean, and he told me like this ain't it. And we sat down. We in Southport Box, right? He's sitting on the bed. I'm sitting on the like little metal table they got. And he like, yo, and he pull out his pictures. And his pictures, he got. Before he got locked up, his daughter was a baby. And he got a picture holding the daughter. He got mad chains on, gold teeth, slick hair. I'm like, oh shit, fly mother, right? And he holding the baby, you know what I mean? He got a shirt off. And then he go to jail. Then you see the pictures of the baby coming to each visit. Yo, he cried, showing me, breaking it down to me. And to the point where his daughter had a baby. And they all on the visiting floor. And he holding his daughter's baby like he held his daughter when he was free.
That's crazy.
I felt, that shit hit my soul.
Rough.
I said, I'm like, yo, I didn't want to cry. You know, my eye got a little watery. Because he crying too. And I'm like, damn, we tight. And we bunk, it's my dog. And I'm like, damn. That's when you couldn't tell me nothing about the street then. You couldn't, like, that's when it was nah.
You know what's funny?
That's why I was like, nah.
That's the answer to my question because I think that's the effectiveness I think the youth need to hear. The shit you said earlier, all that stuff that you said, your resume that you said, and the things you just explained, I think really highlight.
But you gotta have a resume. Cause I know I'm not listening to you if you ain't shoot nobody. I got stabbed in the head. I got hit in the face with shit. Like I went through shit. So a motherfucker could be like, oh, what Skip told you about how I was in Rikers Island? It's my manager, no cap. We ain't making this up. Tell me exactly what he said.
30 tough dudes on the pod.
I mean, we the only ones locking out. It's 31 dudes on this tier. I'm rising I'm the cream of the crop. We alpha lions. So motherfucker, it's the resume that make a motherfucker, because they go, damn, you reading books? Yeah, you gotta read books, homie. This what you, word? Why? Right? Like you gotta have, if you don't got the resume, you can't have one without the other. You can't be a gangster and stupid, and you can't be stupid, and you can't be smart and not be gangster. Because the kids they not jacking that. Because they dealing with real situations. So I can't just tell you, yo, go to school if you didn't shot somebody in the school, because it's stuck, bro. I know that from how cool it is. You hurt one of mine, I gotta hurt every one of yours. So if I'm a square, I can't talk, I can't even give the kids the real solution because I don't know how to make adjustments to their situation because I ain't experienced it. You see? So the resume is important because you gotta come out of it. They gotta look at you and say, well, how could I respect it if you had mommy and daddy in the crib and you talking this positive shit, but you had advantages that I didn't have? So I tell you, my mom's molested me. if I tell you I shot my mom's boyfriend, if I tell you I've been homeless, if I tell you like, and you go, damn, you went through all that, and you came out like this, how you do it? All right, homie. Now you ready to listen? Because the kids, they going through that. They not,
I appreciate that.
know what I mean? Like,
I do appreciate that.
no, I'm saying, but
That is what we exactly.
yeah.
And that's why we want to know what's this industry you're building.
I got you. Yeah.
Talk to me.
Right, for sure. Okay, but so what the drill thing is, the kids, they going through it because there's synthetic drugs in the marijuana. So what happens is they use music as a way. First, they use crack, right? They use literally crack to break down the hood, right? They use crack, they use dope to break down the hood. Then they evolve from crack to the music. Now they use the music like crack to break down the. Now you still think it's music? Nah, they evolve. Now they're using the weed. They're using the weed as the new crack to break down our communities.
See? Somebody agree with me.
Because
Somebody agrees with me.
Because it's synthetic. Because it's synthetic crystal meth. It's synthetic cocaine. It's synthetic heroin, right? It's synthetic prescription drugs and pills in this marijuana.
So you don't smoke no more.
So, what? I ain't smoking years. Know what I mean? So the mind of the kid smoking that weed, you're going to see somebody who's on prescription. You're going to see aggression. You're going to see impulsivity. You're going to see bipolarism. You're going to see schizophrenia. You're going to see homosexuality. You're going to see murder. You're going to see aggression. So these are the things that these kids are going through. And then they don't even know that. And then the music, the melody allows them to perpetuate or indulge in those different personalities created by the actual drug. Mm-hmm. So if we don't start building platforms where these kids can get off these drugs or know the real effects of these drugs, then the generation is going to be lost. And what fires me up is I can remember hearing these old commercials say no to drugs.
Yeah.
We've been dealing with these problems for how long? How long we've been
do drugs.
Don't do drugs. Right? Like how long we've been dealing with these issues? And at some point, we have to have goals and deadlines, but we have to dare to have a deadline. We have to dare to have a deadline, and we have to understand that we cannot build our house in the oppressor's backyard. We have to build our own house on our own land, right? So when we talk about building the industry, right? The first set is mindset. I could talk about having radio towers. I could talk about having a satellite. I could talk about building websites, streaming services with paywalls, and we could talk about all that, but people get lost in the source, right? So it's phases. Phase one is having a unified mindset. Yo, black man, you're a god. 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 And when you can hear what you are and love the sound of it because you know that's who you are, like this before the camera started, you said, hey man, everybody looks nice today. And everybody does look nice, right? We put effort into our outfits, right? So imagine if we put effort into our attributes the same way we put into our outfit. And we started embracing and having expectations for that feeling. That's the first step, right? So it has to be information. It has to be, okay, we're teaching. This is how you meditate. How you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. An emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. Our brain produces neuromelanin. Our thoughts are electromagnetic vibrations that create gravitational pulls that brings things into our life, good for us or bad for us. The universe doesn't differentiate, okay? We have to meditate. We have to have a better relations. Yeah, so 3 minutes or more. Our body produces chemicals, right? So when you sit with a thought, you have to sit with a minimum of 3 minutes or more because your body produces a chemical, produces a hormone in correlation to that actual thought. So there's a built-in CVS, there's a built-in drugstore, and our body can produce any chemical sold on the shelf internally due to thoughts or that thought held long enough, okay? So if you're fearful, your body will produce a hormone that will create a temporary paralysis, right? If you're horny, your body will produce testosterone, will produce things to help you act on that, right? If you're confident, if you're happy, your body will produce an endorphin. So once we learn how our bodies work, we can work our bodies in a way to help us build the industry we need to benefit. But the step one is having knowledge of self, having a mindset. And then that's why I'm teaching it. So when I say I'm doing it, I'm teaching it. I'm showing it. I'm manually teaching our people how to think a certain way.
Mhm.
Now,
You're done.
now,
You're done.
oh, now, yeah, because
No.
but
No, you good?
No, no.
I understand
Okay.
what you're saying. I
right.
do.
So now, once they think a certain way, that's the your money. Throw me that tissue right there. Make sure you're not Kim. Just reach down. Just throw me that tissue.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Right. So, if we at this phase, right? We at this phase.
We got display today. Let's go.
So if we at this phase, the first phase of mindset and mentality, right?
Mhm.
And then the next phase is allocation of resources and teams, right? And then the next place is location and commandeering, right? So I'm going to stop there because it's not wise to share your full strategy, right?
I got
So I'll just start there. So the first phase is to teach the mindset. What is the mindset? Well, we've been on this planet for over 250,000 years. White people have been on this planet for less than 7,000 years. Okay, and they actually came from us because the black woman's womb can produce any color skin pigmentation, right? So we are the superior race genetically. We're also dealing with a genetic warfare. They hate us because of what our balls. They hate us because of the semen. It's not the skin, it's the semen, right? So when we understand why we go through what we go through with these motherfuckers, we can understand how to defend, and we won't have delusional expectations on peace because we know that we're never going to get that. And that has to be taught to us. Now, what's the next step? Neuroscience. What is neuromelanin? I can go into a deep, descriptive a conversation about the brain, but I might lose some, right? So I'm just going to say neuroscience. What is neuroscience? What is reticular activational system, right? What is RET, right? What is this, right? That has to be taught first. Then once that is done, now we're on the next step of allocation of positions. Okay, so let's talk about that. You got a podcast, right? You're doing a podcast. Now, podcast is very close connected to radio. How does radio make money? Radio makes money off of advertisement. Music is just the commercial between the next ad slot, right? So if we can create a union for people who podcast, right, and have an ad school teaching people how to solicit and sell ad space, then we can take that money from the advertisement and invest in radio towers and get on AM radio, right? And then have all the podcasts live on radio, on the airwaves, okay? So now in terms of advertisement.
All right, now I got to apologize. Because I like where you go. Dude, that wraparound, I wasn't bad about going back to the back rows, but oh, Lord, I'm happy that we're here. Go ahead, keep going.
I
like what you're talking. Hey,
but remember, the first
that's why I said I apologize.
Because but the first, that's
okay,
important,
here we
right?
go.
That's important, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, keep going.
So now when you're saying with advertisement, right? Every podcast episode, you have to set a minimum financial goal for, okay? And disregard Google AdSense because they're not honest with the business. They're not transparent with the advertising dollars the corporations give them. They got about, I think Google had roughly about close to 10 billion in advertisement dollars, and they only disperse 100 million towards the content creators. And then the watch time and the standard they have to even get paid on YouTube is like unrealistic, damn near unreachable, right? So I would advocate to disregard Google AdSense. Forget it. I mean, you get it. You don't. Who cares? Every episode, every podcast should create a revenue calendar, and the revenue calendar has financial goals you set for each piece of content, right? So the smart guy is going to talk about smart shit, right? So if somebody has a book coming out, that's an ad spot. If somebody has a what they call it, nootropics. Those are pills and supplements connected to neuroscience, right? So I'll find some companies that have that we can promote, and we say, hey, we're going to charge you $25 per ad slot. So you got before the video, you got the watermark, you got the middle of the video, You got the ending in the video and you got the after the video. So you got 5 ad spaces. 25 times 5 is what, G?
125.
So you should be making a minimum of 125 per video that you put out because you're only charging $25 for that ad space. So now in your revenue calendar, if I'm making $125 per video and 1,000 videos is what?
Yeah.
Flat.
It's 125,000.
125,000, yeah.
Right? And then as you scale your ad space, you can go from selling $25 ads to $50, $75, $100 ads based upon the level of the business, the level of the company. Now you got some companies that instead of you saying I'm going to charge you $25, I'll charge you $250. It's still cheaper than radio, terrestrial radio. It's still cheap. It's still cheaper than television.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the new hot thing, and it gives you a way to personalize your message, your products, and your services to the potential consumer in a different, unique way.
Yeah.
So this is why you should pay for advertisement. We're giving you a cheaper price because there's a flux, there's a oversaturation of content creators, but we still have this thing that markets to your customer in a unique, personalized way. And this is why you should pay for it. So you have a conversation on justifying why they should spend that money with you in terms of ad revenue. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then you start small. You reach out to small companies, small businesses, right? And then you solicit the ads there. And then you set the revenue goal, right? For the ads. That's the you know what I mean? Now, the last one, we talk about having our own. So a radio tower on the low end is about $1 million, you know, on the low end, a decent one. So you set a financial goal to purchase your own radio tower with your ad revenue. Then you have a deadline for that. So now once you have your own radio tower, we don't have to rely on 105 Hot 97 because we're going to have our own. What's the name of your podcast?
400.
I hope you caught that. What's the name of your podcast?
400. I did.
400 what?
400. Yeah. I got you.
Right?
I got you.
And then we're not on FM, we on what?
AM.
Right? So 400 what?
Yeah. Radio. I got you.
400
Network.
Yeah.
44. Is it Catch a G?
Yeah.
400 AM.
Yeah.
I said it.
Right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that's the last piece. And you finance that and you funded that with your ad revenue. But you have to have a goal and you have to have a deadline. And then now once you have your own radio tower and then now you're on terrestrial radio, you're on the airwaves, now your ad revenue goes up. Now you can go, hey Netflix, how you doing? Yeah. Now you can offer competitive ad prices with FM radio. And I say AM because we all know ain't shit on AM radio right now. Because you can't get all the in air. You cannot get all the air.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand? And white man would like to make you think that he can have all the air.
Yeah. I got you.
Everybody's breathing, right? Did you mean? It's air.
Yeah.
So if they monopolize FM, what's on AM radio? Have you ever clicked on AM radio?
Yeah.
I know. What do you hear?
Static.
Talking and static.
Yeah. So yeah, you get it? Yeah.
Yeah.
To wrap this up, tell us about your tour.
Oh, so yeah. So the tour encompasses this, this whole conversation, right? We talk about doing for self. We talk about getting to understanding, right? Because he had a concern, rightfully so, right? But the time allowed for those things to be kind of like ironed out, right? And I had to have the confidence to know that we would reach that point in this conversation, and we did. And I did have the confidence, so that's why I was just talking because I knew at some point you'll understand because I care. I'm genuine. It's, you know what I mean? Right? So on the tour, this is what we're teaching, man. We're teaching how to do for self, how to love self, how to not understanding. You got to be empathetic, right? Like emotional intelligence is important, right? And I know he has concerns, and you have you guys your way of doing things, and I have mine, right? So I had to be patient. He had to be patient, right?
Mhm.
And I had to like just let
You
it.
got this.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did.
But because everybody,
did.
because
We did.
right,
We did.
because everybody
Yeah.
has a certain level of emotional maturity, right?
Yeah.
Some people don't have that. Some people argue. Some people say, "Ah, man," because they walk out an interview, right? It's real shit. It happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
So on the tour, I'm teaching how to have that patience. I'm teaching how to cultivate a mindset of independence. I'm teaching how to be confident. I'm teaching, our true history because it's extensive, right? I'm teaching about Peru, and I'm teaching about how the story of Jesus was inspired by ancient Kemet.
Mhm.
It's like crazy how much impact we have had on this world that we don't even know about. And if we start to begin to know about it, accept it, and embrace it and bask in it, then we should have the confidence to say, well, if my ancestors made math, shit, man, I could get me a radio tower.
Mhm.
If my ancestors created psychology and created medicine and everything on this planet is because of us, man, I think I can make a satellite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think Elon Musk is as special as he portrays to be. I don't think Steve Jobs was anything. I think Steve Jobs was just a beneficiary to resources at an early age. Because the same thing Steve Jobs did as a kid, I did. I know because I studied his story. Everything in my house I would take apart and put together. This is a kid. Nobody taught me this. His parents saluted him for it and gave him a computer to take apart and put together. My family beat my ass and said, if you touch this TV again. Right?
I'll try to fix it.
Right? But I was,
Exploration. Yeah.
I was doing it though, right?
Yeah.
And I was sneaking in the kitchen. I would take knives and my little action figures. I figured out the screws, and I would take them apart and put them back together. And and then I would switch his arm and put it on. But what I'm saying is that's a kid. Where's that coming from? To be builders, for us to be builders, is innate. It's in us to build. But that's not nurtured. It's not cultivated. It's not spoken about. It's not celebrated. Then when you have that confidence and you believe in your people, do you know that 300 wasn't real? Leonidas was the story of the Zulu warriors, the Spartans. Like that, none of that shit is real. Like none of the shit they talk about, great white warriors and all that, all African inspired. Did you know that X-Men came from African gods? You know that Stan Lee, Logan, Olagon, right? Like you don't understand. Like you don't understand that African gods inspired every mutant, every superhero, even Superman himself. Are we serious about this? So when you understand that, you go, I can't stop this. I can, but I have to know the recipe for stopping our oppression, and it's internal. So Marcus Garvey said, if there's no enemy on the inside, no enemy on the outside can ever do you any harm. So how does this black man before Martin Luther King have votes? How does Marcus Garvey? How did Marcus Garvey do it?
Great line.
Because they just sweep that under the rug. He had votes. He was the first. So you mean to tell me I can't pick up where Garvey left and have a better success? Yes, I can.
That's what I was trying to allude to earlier. Because like I said, if you want to speak to be the new revolutionary leader for the new age, right? I want you to surpass. That was pretty much what I'm saying. Surpass whoever our past predecessors was. So now we got Mr. Farrakhan. We have the people that's speaking for us now at this age. We want you want to be known for your words to speak years, hundreds of years down the road, right? That's what you want, right?
Yeah, because
that's what I want. That's what I was saying.
It will because it's not about leader. It's about leadership.
Right.
It's not about leader. It's about leaders. It's about village. That's why we
Delegating the second piece of paper. I
Who
got
else
you.
do you build? I saw you build with Sarnetta.
Right.
You talked about
I got you.
But that's why the thing he said was so powerful. He said, we got there. See how he said? He said, we got there, right? We. So, see, people plateau because they get drunk off it. I'm a god, but I'm from Mount Olympus. And if you know about Mount Olympus, right? Mount Olympus had what?
Many gods up there.
Exactly.
And
so my elevation is not just stagnation. We got to come up together. So the problem is a lot of times the so-called leaders, they don't create leaders. I want this brother to understand that I respect and value what he said. right? I'm not here to try to take over the show. I'm here to, I'm passionate about us because we live in a time where there's not a lot of black men passionate about.
So can I get into one of my questions?
For sure.
All right, cool. So they say the ends justify the means, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think doing what would be deemed a wrong actually rights it because the intent is the intent of it was to be good?
So you say the ends justify the means,
Yeah.
right? So I'm gonna be more focused on the beginning and the actual meaning, right? Not the end, because the I can't focus on the end, right? This is how I would answer the question.
Okay,
right?
okay.
I get exactly what you're saying, right?
Okay.
This will be
all right. I got you.
my response to that, right? I'm focused more on the meaning. I'm focusing on not the end. I'm focused on the present, right? And I'm focusing on the genesis, not the end. The end. I'm focusing on the past first because I need to understand. So from my past, I'm gonna get the meaning, and then from that understanding of the past and the meaning, then I'm gonna be focused on the present.
Mm-hmm.
So the end result is gonna be what I created in the present, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no right way to do wrong, but there's no wrong way to do right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to understand the difference between right and wrong if I don't understand the genesis of my culture and, well, what did they do in Kemet?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what did my ancestors do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we build things. We were innovators,
Yeah.
right? And if I understand my mind is this tool, I don't have to do anything low vibrational to get anything higher vibrational. I just have to live in the highest vibration. You speak things into existence. How you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. There's no wrong way to do right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no right way to do wrong. You see? So I'm just going to focus on the work and everything that is high vibrational,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm not going to do anything dark to get to the light. I'm not going to do anything negative to get to something positive because there's a thing called karma
Mm-hmm.
that you cannot escape,
Mm-hmm.
that you're creating, and your karma is more intense based upon how good you're trying to get with the bad.
Mm-hmm.
That karma is going to be weighed upon that. So if I'm selling drugs to make a $1 billion company, I got $1 billion karma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't want to deal with the karma of that. So I have to learn to embrace delayed gratification.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's a difference between instant gratification and delayed gratification. So when you do everything right, which is hard, then you're going to be dealing with delayed gratification. So you're not being denied, you're being delayed. And through that delay, there's a preparation that prepares you to keep and stay where you're at and stay where you're going. So I don't want to do something wrong to try to make it right. But then when I get right, I'm back to square one because I got to deal with karma. So you sold drugs, you sold drugs to get into this so-called industry, and then you get it and you make it, and then 15 years later, hey,
Exactly.
man, how you doing?
Exactly.
Yeah, how you doing? I'm Mr. Ross from Tar from the FBI.
Yeah.
We got this case we've been building for the last 15, 20 years, and you lost everything because you didn't embrace delayed gratification.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Tell us where we can find your tour. What's the next stop?
So we're going to be in New York. My number is 917-907-3687. My website is nolabelstour.com. You got your phone? You got internet on your phone? You got 2G, 3G? What you want? 1G? Yeah, just type in nolabelstour.com so you can see it. You know what I mean? Nolabelstour.com. He's gonna type it in for you guys, So I take your Nutty Professor thing and have an ass and text that month.
Sherman?
Guys, 4400, smart guy.
Wait, did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Let me see it. I want to show it on the camera.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on.
God damn, sure I got a real site.
Hold on.
Wait, damn, wait, damn, shit.
We gonna edit it in for the audience.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you got right to the, you see it said?
I got right to it.
Yeah.
Get your tickets.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
Get it in the club.
And you can give me a call. My number is 917-907-3687, 917-907-3687, nolabelstour.com. My Instagram is _TheSmartGuy_, TheSmartGuy_, _. Everything's spelled the correct way. G, what's your number? 917-945-34
03.
That's my manager, business partner, second number. You can't reach me on the first line, hit me on the second line. If you can't hit me on the second line, then try the third line, which is my Instagram DM, and I'll respond to every DM.
Yo, bro, that's what's up, man.
My man.
Thanks, man.
Best of luck on his tour.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, for
Thanks,
sure,
man.
for sure.